Okay everyone, it's the next day, and you know me, I'm always trying to save and not get too fancy with this project overall being a building and these 10 acres here. And right now I'm going to try to build a workable top to this workbench that I'm developing here, working on here. And I've got a lot of wood, so I'm just going to take some boards, and what I've not shown you is that in my shed, I've had it essentially stored there since I built the shed, get it out of the garage back in Ottawa, back at home, is a thickness planer, 12-inch wide thickness planer I think it is, an old Delta, and I've got an edger, and I'm going to cut up some boards 42, 43 inches long, so it'll have a 2-inch overhang on each side, and that'll become the work surface. So they'll be all very close to the same thickness. They'll go on perpendicular to these long 10-foot runners currently on the top of the workbench right now. And I should be able to knock those out in the next 2 hours, I imagine. And that gives me the work surface. This thickness planer is very heavy. Before I get to the thickness planer, I actually need to make a stop over at the chop saw station. I need to select a number of boards from the various piles behind the saw and get them measured up and actually cut them into the boards that I'm going to be running through the thickness planer and using for the work surface of the workbench. So let's get busy here with the chop saw. That's 24 pieces through the thickness planer, and I like to keep it tidy as I go, so time to pull out the broom and sweep this mess up a little bit. Okay, so the next step in this exercise to create a workbench for the shop here is to edge all of these boards. Remember, I've got about 24 boards that'll make up the surface for now. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit more detail. This will not be the finished surface, but just the surface for now until I get the opportunity to get to a big box store and purchase some 4x8 material. Okay, so what I've done is I went and I bought these caster wheels. They attach on the legs, obviously. They lock. I believe they're nearly 3 inches across. They're heavy duty. Each wheel can support 300 pounds, so obviously 1,200 in total. And the idea obviously is to make the workbench mobile and should make it quite easy to use the space more effectively with the mobile workbench. So let's get these installed. So each caster is going to be secured with quite a hodgepodge of screws. It's a mishmash of things that I have left over here from just different other parts of the build, the pole barn build process. So it's going to get a lag bolt, it's going to get a large construction screw, and then 2 smaller construction screws. And hopefully this mishmash works. I have no reason to doubt that it wouldn't. It's just, it saves me from having to go buy another batch of screws. That is not going anywhere. Well, that's sliding, it's not rolling, so that's great. Okay, I'm getting this first board in place here. And what I've done is I've measured it 3/4 of an inch from each of the end boards here. It's 1.5 inches overhang on each side. Now it's ready to be socked in to make sure I've got it where I want it and keep it where I want it. Just going to secure it with my quick grips. So the edge is a little seesawed right now, or saw edge. And what I'll do with that is I'll just mark a line and hit it with the skill saw, straighten it up. It was the first summer job that I had between high school and university. I worked in a machine shop. And whenever I was standing around doing nothing, which wasn't often, but whenever I was standing around doing nothing, the foreman would walk over and hand me a broom and just start sweeping. There was always a mess somewhere that needed sweeping up. It is the least interesting of jobs, but you've got to keep places clean and tidy so that you keep working. Hey everyone, I'm in the final stretches of working on this workbench. And what I want to do today is put in some supports that will create a shelf down here. And the first step in this process is that I need to beef up these rails. These rails are 1x6s. So what I'll do is I'll add another layer of 1x6s to them, essentially creating a 2x6. And I'll show you in a second that I added a vise on the deck already. So it's coming along. This is going to be a great workbench. And there's the vise that I added to the workbench surface. Great vise. Will be put to good use over the coming years. Hey, if you enjoyed that video, please subscribe, like, and share. Thank you. Alright, let's fire up this puppy. The bench is complete and I'm already putting it to very good use. It's sturdy, it's mobile, it's exceptionally practical, and like I mentioned, it's sturdy, it's tough. It's exactly what I need in this shop. I built this bench using leftover lumber. The only thing I had to go out and purchase were the casters. You'll see a link below describing the casters and where you can get them on Amazon. It doesn't take a lot to put together a bench like this. A little imagination, guys, and you can have a nice bench like this also. Thanks for watching. Look forward to seeing you at the next video.